right, what's going on, friends? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. First of all, brought to you by me. That's right. And Cameo. I do cameos for you. Cameo.com/Eric Zane is where you find that. If you want to hire me for that, set you back $15. Okay. You know, they say, hey, you gotta feed yourself first. That's what I'm doing right there. Blue Frost IT, as you know, the managed IT service provider for this silly nonsense show. You can reach out to Alan and Ashlyn if you are in need of IT services, all right, for your business. And if you're running a business with, I don't know, a handful of employees, various levels of technology, that's great. You're doing it, man. You're building it from the ground up. But you must have an IT department. Well, we can't afford that. Yes, you can. You pay these guys who are your boots on the ground when things go haywire. This is absolutely within your reach. Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. They're also online at bluefrostit.com. Now, TC Paintball. Tomorrow, the Eric Zane Show podcast, Paintball War number 10. Oh, my God. We killed Kenny. We have people traveling from many, many miles. Bleeding Heart Brian is going to take time away from hunting and pecking emails from the left side of the aisle. He's going to take time away from that, pry him away from the keyboard to join me. I've got Adam and Michelle coming in from Houghton Lake, Michigan. My gosh, congratulations to you two, by the way, on the getting engaged. I'm so happy for you. Not to mention, Walgrave is heading down from the meth capital of Michigan, Kalkaska. Okay, we have Kenny, of course, and his family coming up from Nashville. People are coming from all over for this thing, and you can still get in on it. Throat/Dale will be there with his 8,000 kids. My gosh. TC Paintball, online at tcpaintballgr.com. If you want to play, we got room for you. You too can shoot Kenny's tits. Okay, just send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, or just show up. You can surprise me. You can just show up, walk in the door, and here I am. Oh, welcome. So, all right, that is part of the day tomorrow. It starts at 4 p.m., $35. Get you the paint, the gun, the mask. We got free pizza from BC Pizza, Grand Rapids, right on Lake Michigan Drive there. Please order pizza from them because I've got a deal with them where, all I have to do is talk about them and tell you to order a pie once in a while or something else from their great menu. And then they give me free pizza for the paintball events. So their website is bcpizzagr.com. Order from them. Say, Eric Zane told me to come and visit you or buy pizza from you. All right. Boy, I don't know if I just lost hearing in one of my ears or, yeah, I actually did. And then it came back. That was weird. Is that a new COVID symptom where you lose hearing in one ear? All right. And, in fact, that is dominating the headlines today. Woo! Both on a personal level and an around-the-world level. This is the 2nd of October, 2020.
Hey, what's happening?
The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
Hey, this is Blue State Rob, and you're listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a show hosted by a liberal Republican whose ancestry dates back to the small country of Armenia and fueled by bouts of anxiety and adult attention hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. It's not the best, but still better than radio. Anyway, here's your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Blue State Rob. You're a good man. Love you. That's how we do it on the show. It's all grassroots. It's all homespun. Rob recorded that himself. The music from the multi-talented Jimmy in Portland, Maine. He is the brand new musician of choice on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Hey, if you want to contribute to an intro on the Eric Zane Show podcast, it's really simple. All you got to do is record that into your phone. That same exact thing that Blue State Rob did. I want you to do that as well. Okay, you can write it out like he did. His was polished. You notice how he started that? He said, "Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast." He's got this crazy accent going, but I love it. So thank you so much, Blue State Rob. Thank you so much, Jimmy. And welcome in to this podcast, okay? I do it every single day from right here in this studio. It is a daily podcast covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures infused with various elements of swearing and stuff like that. And I'm having a tech issue that is just messing with my brain, and I haven't yet come close to pinpointing where it's originating from. And so it just messed with me so bad. Again, one side of the headphones just disappears as I'm doing that whole intro, and then it suddenly just shoots back. So that's messing with me big time. The live stream, Irvine's brings you the Facebook page, Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. You can follow the show live each morning there. Also a Periscope video on Twitter. And you can enjoy it there. That brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And then follow me on YouTube. You can watch the show on YouTube. Just search Eric Zane Show as you see right here in this graphic. Now, as you're watching the live stream, as usual, I have my cast of characters. I've got Daisy, my English, Bruce, my Frenchie. O'Neill is over there out of sight. You can't really see O'Neill, but I know who wants to be able to see O'Neill.
Hi, O'Neill. I want to see O'Neill all the time.
Just a minute ago, I swear, I'll actually post the picture, and I'll link it up in the comments of this podcast, and I'll put it on in the news. I took a picture just in case somebody moved, and sure enough, somebody moved. But the sleeping arrangement in here was O'Neill was where Bruce is right now, and Bruce was on top, completely on top of O'Neill. It was probably one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen. And I took a picture of it. And so I'll post that and be able to see it. But I wanted to start the show with them together like that. But I ended up, O'Neill moved and messed the whole thing up. So what the hell? But still, I want you to check that out. Before I forget, and before I get to the news of the day, and that is the whole Trump thing, I want to introduce you to an artist by the name of Ray Wiley Hubbard. Actually, I'm just going to wait on that because I've got such pressing news, and I don't want to wait any longer. First off, let me just tell you what I have lined up for the show before I get into anything else. Yesterday, my pal, who I want to give a kidney to, was given the news from the folks at UCLA kidney transplant team about whether or not he's got the green light to get my kidney. So, and this kind of crept up on us because for the longest time, I was telling you about how I was waiting weeks ago about whether or not I would be able to give my kidney, whether or not I was a good candidate. And of course I am. And they said, yes, you can give that kidney away. But I was also waiting to yesterday's date to hear whether or not he can receive it. It isn't like they just take it because, there's risk involved in any surgery, okay? And that's, something that they tell you. They say, hey, so what is the number one risk of kidney transplant? And I'm like, rejection. They go, yeah, that's it. But we're talking about for you and for the recipient. And I'm like, and they go, death. You can die. So, they want to make sure they got the right people. Dude has to have that process happen too. And so they have to determine whether or not there is a problem there with him or whether or not he can receive this. So that happened, and I was informed of this. I'll detail all of that for you. I had a frantic, panic-filled evening last night. Now, not the type of panic attack where I'm sitting there pondering my existence in the future, and I have one of those anxiety panic attacks. I mean, there was actually something weird happening in the house that required immediate action from me. It required from downstairs in the basement, Diane, get down here. I need your help. Why is that? She doesn't sound old. Why am I going that? In fact, you know what? She can join us today. I'll actually give her a phone call today because brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware, because they bring you all of my Queen of the Forest interviews. She took the day off today because she has to attend a funeral for a dear friend. Her mom passed away. So I'll actually get her impressions of all of that as I detail what happened here in this household. But first, many of you probably have already heard the news about the president and the first lady being diagnosed with COVID. But more on that in a moment. Chain of command. First of all, one of my commanders in chief, my mom, with a recent COVID diagnosis. Okay. A couple of days ago, we found out about that. And so, all right, here we go. Now, my brother, who is kind of like the one who always spearheads these things, he's the one who's always in charge. This is my closest to me in age, my brother Jim. And he's kind of like, I don't know if you have this person in your family who's super hands-on and involved. And I actually I applaud that. I'm happy that he does that because it allows someone to actually be in charge of it and then informs the rest of us. So he's getting a little pissed though, because where my mom is at in the hospital, they're not being that open with what's going on. And I don't know if that has something to do with they're so used to so many people becoming sick with COVID or what. But, here you have an elderly woman, suffers from dementia. She gets a positive COVID diagnosis days ago. And then that's it. That's all we've heard. And, so this is very, very tricky. It turns out that my mother's husband does not have it. Now, again, I am very, very suspicious about this diagnosis. And there are other levels of testing you can do that can determine this, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm a little suspicious of the whole thing. And, who knows? Maybe she doesn't even have it. But they're going to do another test, a blood test to determine antibodies, which I'm like, wait a minute, doesn't that determine if you had it at some point? Or, is that another way to determine that she does have it, to check for antibodies? My point is, they're being very hush-hush on the details. And it's like, my God. And something as serious as that, why don't you have staffed people to actually run out the ground ball to inform the family of what is happening? So here you got my poor mom who doesn't know what the hell is happening. And all of us, we don't know what the hell is happening. And so, yeah, that is pretty screwed up. Ultimately, if what probably is true, my mom has to go into like a rehab COVID facility, which is kind of like a COVID halfway house or some shit, because she can't be like allowed back into the retirement / old folks home until, this is passed. As of last check, and I know you want to know these things, she was, I had trouble getting a hold of her yesterday. And so that's a little bit weird. I detailed it on the Patreon about how I don't know if she's just super, super tired or what, but she like picks up the phone and then she like hangs it up or drops it or something happens. So a little bit weird right now, but I think it'll be okay. I'll keep you updated as time passes. But last night I was getting ready for bed, and I noticed that there was a story about Hope Hicks, who is one of the president's top advisors, who, by the way, it seems like every single person he brings on in his inner circle is an absolute smoke show. Hope Hicks also fits that description. My God. And they said, okay, Hope Hicks, she has tested positive for coronavirus. Uh-oh. So then I wake up this morning, and the big news is that Trump says, hey, I got it. So does my wife. And that's that. We're quarantined, and then that's the end of it. Now, outside of the president announcing it, there isn't really anything new to talk about, essentially, or to report. But there kind of is, because, at the end of the day, it's really remarkable to me to look at the political landscape as to where we are in the world. And first of all, let me just say this. If he has it and he does become incapacitated where he has to go into like intensive care, that means Mike Pence will then assume the role as president for the time being. Okay. And there's also the whole idea of everyone who is around the president, these people could have it too. Now, I keep hearing more and more about if you, really the only way to get it is if you're in close contact with someone for like 15 minutes, like extended time. Your body has to be like completely doused in this thing to get it. But that information changes on a regular basis. So you never know. I mean, this is a moving target at this point. But today I turn on the Today Show. They've got a somber tone. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you got a somber tone, but I bet deep down you want to be able to like start having a party and playing Kool and the Gang's Celebration. Because every time I turn around, I see the various assholes in the world making all these horseshit comments like, I'm glad. Karma. Yeah, this is karma. I just don't want to. I don't even want to dive into that. Anybody who says that about anyone who they dislike in any way, shape, or form. There's plenty of people that I dislike in the world, but when they have a deadly virus attacking their system, and here you are making gleeful comments and celebratory tweets and shit like that, well, you're fucking crazy. And I'd be very careful. If you're going to be the type of asshole to throw out, this is karma, be careful yourself, you dumb son of a bitch, because you could end up getting karma yourself if that's what you believe in. But, frankly, coronavirus, COVID, is very easy to catch. It always has been. It's no surprise that somebody who sees people each and every day and is out and about and being very, very social, as he's trying to win an election, that is going to happen. I can just hope and pray that anybody who comes down with this doesn't experience too much hardship in any way, shape, or form, and that they recover fully. I don't care who it is, frankly. But the people who sit there and are delighted and are happy and are saying terrible things about anybody who has COVID, you're fucking animals. That's all there is to it. I don't give a shit who you're rooting for in this election. It's an entirely different level when you're talking about the well-being and whether or not a person is going to remain healthy, live or die, you don't know. For me, I just wouldn't want to be the type unless you have somebody who's like an axe murderer or a child molester and something terrible happens to them, then I think you might be given a pass. But I don't buy that for a second, that you should sit there and be happy and delighted by the fact that the leader of the country right now, whether you like it or not, and his wife have COVID. So shut the fuck up. And that goes for anybody who says, yeah, I hope Biden gets it too. And there is some concern about that, because here basically you got a guy, Trump, and his wife, who were in a setting that was supposed to be clean, where where they had the debate in Cleveland. And there's a chance that everybody within Trump's inner circle could have already have had it, And so that's rough. they were talking today about Hope Hicks on the news, and they're showing footage of her when she more than likely did have this, where she's walking towards Air Force One, and she's with members of Trump's family, and they show her walking up the steps to Air Force One. They go, now watch, here she goes, right here, and she puts her hand on the railing leading up to Air Force One, and right behind her is Jared Kushner, I believe the guy's name is. Sure enough, he's right up the steps too. He's touching the handrail. Oh no! So this is definitely creeping up on people right now, and a lot of people are like, oh my God. So that is the big news. It broke overnight that the Trumps have the virus. And, outside of that, who knows? I mean, if this could, in theory, derail any bit of campaigning by both the president, anyone in his inner circle. God, sometimes I just can't speak. And even Biden. Okay, these are two old, withered men. Okay, with low-hanging balls. They're old. Old people and COVID equals death, for God's sake. And you know what speeds up death? Stress, too much work. Okay, you got to relax. I say at this point, these two fuckers, no campaigning. You stay at home. I don't know. I mean, Pence, not Pence. Biden doesn't have it as far as we know, but still, he could get it. I mean, he was in the same area as these two. So, for sure, Trump can't campaign anymore, right? I mean, we're looking at 14 days now before he can even possibly emerge, and that's if he doesn't have it real bad. Sometimes people get it and they don't really experience too many symptoms. That would put us on October 16th, and that's if he has any energy left whatsoever. Then you're looking at 14, 15, 17 days till the election. My God, what a time that we live in right now. All right. What the hell? I'm seeing. Okay. Nick, what are you sending me? Let's see. I'm looking at the live chat. I have a screenshot. I'm just going to read it. I'm not sure why I have to read it. Looks like Craig says, yes, they started mixing active cases and antibody cases. Damn it. Read, Eric. Yes, they started mixing active cases and antibody positive cases months ago. I don't know the context of that. Brian, that's Bleeding Heart Brian, writes, would you put it past him? He claimed ballots were found in a river with his name on them. Nobody knows what river, though. Why is he sending me this? Brian says, Dirk, where's your source on that? Patriot Nick says, where's your source that he's saying he has to avoid the debates? Oh, I see what's happening. Patriot Nick follows it up with, hey, Brian, he's talking to you. Uh-oh. Okay, I know what this means. Brian says, awfully funny, 36 hours after the debate commission announces rule changes, he conveniently has tested positive for COVID-19. Patriot Nick says, nice tinfoil hat, Brian. Okay. All right. I see what's going on here. These guys are sparring. All right. That happens on the chat. You got people on the left, people on the right screaming at each other over what's what. I don't know. I'll let you guys do all the heavy lifting. I have no idea. All I know is that he's got it. He ain't doing anything for a couple of weeks. He is the leader of the country. Who knows how this will turn out? Who knows what will happen? But this does kill. And the leader of the free world and his wife have it. That's not good. Okay? So again, I reiterate, any one of you fucking morons who's sitting there saying, aha, this is good news, you've got a deadly disease, you're fucking crazy, man. That is a horrible, horrible thing to say and do. I don't care what you say, and I don't care if you then follow up my words with, yeah, well, he did this. Yeah, well, he did that. Look, fucking just relax. Shut up for a minute. Just shut up and go work your job and be nice to somebody, love someone, and for a second, shut up. Yeah, I know he said what he's said. You'll have to ask him why he says what he says. I'm not going to sit here and try to answer for anybody. Just relax. Okay. So there you go. That is the open of the Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you by A&E Heating and Cooling. Joe Martinez, my God, what a saintly man. I am so happy with how this has gone. I've got an update for you, by the way, on everything that's gone on with the big giveaway and the M. Night Shyamalan turn of events that happened right here on the show just yesterday. But I want you to call upon Joe at 616-516-8579 and get a tune-up, okay, for that furnace. It's just $79, and boy, do you need that. And you just call upon Joe, and he cleans it. He checks it out, makes sure all of the it's running the way it's supposed to, gets it running at the highest efficiency possible. Possible. Seriously, it's rough today. AEheatingcooling.net, 616-516-8579. Terrytown RV. They are on Division between 68th and 76th Street. Love those folks over at Terrytown RV. If you're interested in shopping for one of those beautiful pieces of equipment, go to their website, terrytownrv.com. Check them out. They got travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes, folding campers, truck campers. My gosh, everything at Terrytown RV. Pick one out, then call them, say, hey, I'm coming to see it. They're like, all right, man, we're waiting for you. You go through it, you say, I want to buy it. Okay, let's do it. Well, I'm a little worried about the Rona. Well, let's do it over the phone. No problem. That's how they do it. Thank you, Terrytown RV, the biggest in Michigan, the best, with an indoor showroom, because it's going to be cold, really cold before too long, of over 200 units available for you to walk through. You walk through the indoor heated facility. You got your complimentary bag of popcorn. You know, you got your coffee. It's your own personal camper, travel trailer, fifth wheel, and RV show. There you go, Terrytown RV. Thanks again to A&D Cleaning for signing up for another 3 months of marketing on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Amy brings you the appearance from Daisy in the studio, 616-550-3644. Reach out to my friends at A&D Cleaning and get an estimate and find out exactly how cheap it is to have Amy and her crew clean your home. Okay. A little bit of news, and both on regarding the giveaway, and then also related to work, I guess. And I'm really excited about it, in a way. No, I am excited about it, in no particular way. I'm just excited about it. I'll tell you about it in a second. But first off, so as you know, we did that big thing with A&E Heating and Cooling, where Joe said, I want to install a brand new furnace for somebody. And so I had you write in with your scenario as to why this would just be absolutely awesome. And I had you nominate people. And then we settled on one particular sweet soul who, if you want to hear the details on that, it's all covered in yesterday's podcast. It's a hell of a story. Both of these are hell of amazing stories. So there you go. You know, I informed this person on Wednesday night, and then I called Joe Martinez. I go, okay, Joe, this is so kind of you. Here's the person. He goes, okay, now the rest of the story can be told, Eric Zane. What are you talking about? Well, I'm giving away 2, so pick another one. And the Zaniacs pooled their money, and each of these recipients is getting $600. Oh, my God. Okay, so that's just incredible. And then that first person that I was just describing to you, they get their natural gas from DTE Energy. Well, when you do a new install, they give a $450 rebate. So that means that this person has $1,050 at their disposal. And this is such a game changer. This is absolutely that whole, when people do stuff for other people, like Joe is doing for these folks, My God. Big Dick Donnie Veltman will attest to this. When you know you've got a support team flying in from the back of the room to lift you up. Lift me up and turn me over. Lead me on into the door. This is Yes. Take me to the highest mountain. Dirk, the best version of that song is when they start with it a cappella and then it kicks in. Tough to find that version, by the way. So that type of support is really, really big for people. That's just as important as the physical install, and that big infusion of cash. Well, as I was telling you the story, and then I talked about the person number 2 also is a recipient. Person number 2 gets their fuel from LP gas. So they're not eligible for that big cash donation, or I should say big cash rebate from DTE Energy. However, upon talking about that, my pal Jason Mays from JM Synthetics said, yeah, I heard you talking about that, and it's all got to be equal. I go, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm giving the cash to that lady. So there you go. I'm like, what? He goes, yep, I'm going to take care of the of that dollar amount for that second person. I go, oh my God. What? I mean, seriously, this is just so incredible. This all happened after the fact. And he goes, I don't want you to mention my name. I don't want any credit. I'm like, yeah, I know, but still, people need to know. They need to know that you're this guy. You're that type. Okay? Thank you, Jason. That is so very sweet. And so is everybody who, I mean, my God, Kenny and Jason Terry, and that's all I really know. No one's really tipping their hand as to who did what, because you're all like this great wad of people. I mean, I am just so blessed to have you all. And we're all in this shit together, man. Okay. Now, here's what's next. And I have an opportunity, a small opportunity, a little chance, because I honestly don't think, I think there's a lot of worthy people who have even a better shot at what I'm about to describe to you. So I'm trying to squeeze into a radio job, a morning drive radio job here in West Michigan. So basically, my days would be like this. If this were to work out, slim chance that it works out. I'd get up hours before the crack of dawn, and the schedule would change completely. I'd go into a radio station, and then I would be on a music-driven radio show as a sidekick with an existing host. And I'm going to tell you everything about this. And then, okay, I don't know what time I would be home, but let's just say I'm home at noon. I sit down right here, and I do my podcasting day. It would be different for you because I would be doing what I'm doing right now later than what you're used to, for those of you who get it live. For those of you who don't get it live, it wouldn't matter. I think what I would end up doing, though, is I would start my podcasting week on Sunday so that you could listen to me on Monday and then work all the way through the week. It'd still get the same thing. Okay. There would be you would have to get used to a time change, but you'd still get the show. And the reason why I bring this up is because, or the reason why I want to do this is because, frankly, it seems fun. I'm interested and excited at the possibility, for many, many reasons, of working with a very talented radio man by the name of JoJo Girard. Now, I found out that JoJo has an opening from Ben when I sat here and did the show with Ben. Ben tried to get the gig, and I, as far as I know, he's got just as much shot as anybody. Well, I sent along a resume and my cover letter and my references, and I said, "Hey, I'd like to try that." So now, outside of me sending that in, and then getting told, hey, we got your info. Thanks a lot for reaching out. We'll let you know what we're thinking. There are going to be dozens of people who want this job, who are much better at that than me, okay, joining his show. But there's an outside chance that it might work out, maybe. And I think that would be extremely fun. And that, frankly, doing that thing, being back on the radio would be enjoyable to me, and I would love it. And I think it would open up many, many possibilities. So here's the thing. I had to basically, in order to even be thought as a possible candidate, and I have no idea if I am. Okay. All I know is that I sent in my material and that they received it. But the idea of me working in that environment would be great. I would really seriously enjoy it. It's after doing different styles of radio, ensemble cast on Freebird Hot Wings, leading a show on BBL, to this sidekick on a music-driven show would be extremely low pressure to me. And I would have a ball doing it. And JoJo is funny as hell. And he's a really nice guy. And the station's great, 98.7 WFGR. So I'd like that. And if they've got a spot for your old pal Eric Zane, I'd love to jump all over it. I would love to do that gig and then be able to still do this podcast. Now, truth be told, if they said, hey, yeah, we love you, but you can't do the podcast, I'm saying, well, then I'm sorry, I can't take the gig. I love you, but I've put my time, I've put my life into the podcast. So there's that. We shall see. No idea if it'll work out. I'll give it right now, because I know who else has applied for the job and they're all better than me. I'll give it a 5% chance right now. 5% chance. That's not much. Might go up quickly. Who knows? This is the same place, the same company that fired me almost 5 years ago. So how the hell is that going to work? And so I just came right out and said it, and I go, yeah, I reached out to the guy who's making the decision. I go, look, yeah, man, I got fired from you guys 5 years ago, and I don't think this dude was there at the time. I go, but, I'd like to think that after getting my nose bashed into the ground about 500 times, that I can figure this out. So there you go. I was completely transparent about the whole thing, and we'll see. We shall see. But the whole idea of it possibly going down and work, okay, because you got to understand, I would be in the same building as Greg, Chris, Joe, Steve, and they also have a lady on the show. Her name is Kelly, and Rachel. God, you got a lot of people on that show. So that would be, in the last few months, I've had plenty of cordial exchanges with Steve and Greg, and that's nice. We're not pals. We're not hanging out or anything like that, but it appears like we've been more successful at being friendly than being rude. And I made it very clear when I reached out to these people. I go, yeah, the divorce was bitter. Lots of sniping back and forth, most of which done by me, which I take full responsibility. I was very, very transparent about the whole damn thing. So I just wanted you to know that, because it's burning on my brain. And if it's burning on my brain, it's going to burn a hole in my skull, and you're going to know about it. So that's basically what happened there. Okay. I got a great email from, I take it back. It's Facebook feedback from, and I think you're onto something. I've wanted to do a cooking show, and I just have to do it. I have to stop screwing around. But first, let me tell you about Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you need your car fixed, you call upon them. 616-532-6600 if you are in West Michigan. Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, repairing domestic, Asian, and European vehicles. Well, the only thing they don't fix is Volkswagens. Okay, so keep your Volkswagen trash out of there. They are on along 44th Street, side street called Stafford, which is just a couple of blocks east of 131. Turn on there and bang on their door. Call ahead if you want. You can do it all like no contact if that's your thing. They obviously have all of the protocols in place. 616-532-6600. Baldwin Ace Hardware in on the show. They bring you my moments where I bring Diana on the show, the Queen of the Forest interviews. Hopefully have her on in just a little bit. If she's still here, I think she's still here. She's helping get the house ready for Kenny and his family. My God, that's going to be something. We're trying to get this house clean for you, Kenny. I want you to know we're trying to make your first vacation with your family a good one. And this must qualify as a vacation, right? You're traveling from Tennessee to Michigan with what is it, a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 7-year-old, right? 6-year-old, all the way up here to Michigan. So that's exactly what she's doing. And Baldwin Ace Hardware invites you to check them out. If you go up north and you have any DIY projects that you need to take care of, please check on Baldwin Ace Hardware for anything that you may need. Don't bring your stuff from the big box hardware store, the home improvement store, up to where you're going. Get it at Baldwin Ace Hardware, the beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Okay, this is what Kevin writes. Boy, if he only spoke how he wrote, okay? He wrote, who else is 100% convinced that Eric actually went into the wrong career? The guy should have absolutely been a chef. Now he'd be harder to work with or for than Ellen, he writes, maybe Gordon Ramsay. But man, this guy's an absolute nut when he describes making any kind of food. Am I onto something here, or is Eric just a lunatic no matter what he does? And asks that question to Diana. Absolutely. And that all stems from yesterday's podcast when I was describing making the Slaughter the Turks Armenian meatball recipe, which if you have never, ever tried this recipe, you must do this. Seriously, it is so good. And I posted it at inthenews.ericzaneshow.com. Zane, you've always talked about that meatball recipe. When, for God's sake, are we going to be able to get our hands on it? You got it right now. It's all there. Okay. So let me pick this up with this story, and this is where I need to bring Diana in. And I need to tell you some of the story first, and then I will need to bring her in. Before that, though, if you need to reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Green Clean Technologies inbox. Let's see here. Okay, so yesterday it was busy because I had to go to a visitation for our dear friend's mother who passed away. All right, so there's that. And then afterwards, I knew I was going to have some time. I got to get home because it's time to get in shape. I've been working very, very hard at getting in shape, and the idea behind getting in shape, I mean really in shape, is because I want to be in as solid a physical shape when and if this whole deal happens with the kidney, which I just realized I did not tell you that story, and now I feel like a dumbass. Okay, hold that thought. Hold everything. Damn it. I wrote my notes down inappropriately. Say it, moron. Let me get to that story in a second. A lot of you have been waiting and wondering what the fuck is going on with the kidney. So I didn't talk about that yet, did I? What the hell? My brain is going a million miles an hour. I really apologize for today. It's a weird vibe going on right now. So I talked about this on the Patreon. If you're hearing it again, bear with me. When I was talking about, all right, I got the green light to get my kidney removed, but dude has to get the green light as well. He's dealing with some other unrelated health issues, for crying out loud. This is it isn't like they just say, yeah, you're good enough. If Eric gets a green light, we're going to put it in you, because you have to worry about his health getting through this surgery. He calls me up yesterday, and I knew it was good news, and it is good news. He says, "Hey, Eric, how are you, man?" I go, "What's up, buddy?" And he goes, "I'm here with Julie, man. All right, we're ready to talk to you." And I knew that because he had a person from the transplant team that it was good news. And he sounded extremely chipper. You have to understand, 3 days a week, this guy has to plug his heart into a dialysis machine, and all of the blood gets pumped from his body. And then his blood is cleaned and put back into his body. Think about that. 3 days a week. It sucks a little bit of his life force out every single damn time that it happens to him. But my God, knowing now that he has been given the green light and this is going to happen, holy shit, that was an unbelievable moment yesterday. And he was like, oh man, extremely chipper and happy about it. And that was it, man. So the green light has been given, and that is absolutely huge for him. So I'm just happy to do it, and I know a ton of people have been thinking about me and him and in this whole process. So this is going down. All that has to happen is he has to get a stress test. So they throw him on a treadmill, make sure that his heart looks the way it's supposed to look when it's under stress. Make sure that his lungs are functioning at the level that they're supposed to be functioning, and they will. And then that's it. I got to do one little simple blood test, and I might get that done today. And then that is it. Then we start scheduling, getting ready to schedule. And I knew it was getting close when in a conversation I had with him the other day, he was starting to feel optimistic about it. He says, "So look, man, like." When is a good time for you to do this, man?" And I go, "Well, dude, like I said, anytime. I mean, it's you're the one who's going to dialysis and having that ordeal. The quicker we get this done, the quicker you're off dialysis, because we're going to get that kidney in you, and then you don't need that anymore." So maybe it'll be, because I said to him, I go, the quicker the better, in my opinion. Because the quicker that this is taken care of and you're up and running, that's all I'm worried about. Don't worry about me and my schedule. You schedule it around yours, and I'll make all the necessary arrangements on my end. So, I suspect before the year ends, I will be on the mend, recovering from having that. I'll be a little lighter. I don't know how much a kidney weighs, but yeah, this is absolutely going to happen. So that is really, really good news. I'm stoked about that. And, occasionally some nerves creep in to me, about, and it isn't so much worried about dying or anything like that. It's fear of the unknown. Even though they tell you exactly what's going on, it's just different. And that's a human's brain trying to talk you out of it, trying to trick you. I had a moment yesterday when I was talking with a friend of mine who was a nurse here in Grand Rapids when I was at this visitation. And two things. She said, by the way, the last several days, we've had 0 admissions for hospitalization for COVID in the community. And she was like pumped about that. And she goes, the other thing is, I know people personally who have had kidneys removed and donated them. And I've been in awe at how quickly they've recovered. So I hope to be one of those. I actually had a notion in my brain yesterday when I was running, because I went to the track, and I'll talk about that in a second, that it's about 1 year from now that the Grand Rapids Marathon takes place. This year, they're doing it like virtually or some stupid thing like that. Next year, I expect there to be a Grand Rapids Marathon. Now, in order to hold a pace to be under an hour 30 and a half marathon, you should be running your half-mile repeats at about 3:08, okay? So basically, you get on the track, you warm up, you run your freaking ass off at a pace that's much faster than what you would run during the marathon, but that's how you train. You put your heart and lungs and stress it in your muscles at a pace faster than what you're used to going, but very short interval, and then you recover. That's how they do it. Back when I was strong, really strong, I would do it at that pace. Last night, I did the damn thing. The fastest I was able to get to was 3:39 for a half mile. So that's way. You might think, oh, that's only 31 seconds. No, that's a lot. That is a hell of a lot. So it will take about a year for me to get that time down to 3:08. Oh, by the way, throw in the removal of a kidney. But yet, I plan on doing that. That is my goal, to break an hour 30 in 1 year at the Grand Rapids Half Marathon. So why am I bringing all this up? Because I'm on a mission to get in really good shape for the surgery. The quickest way to recover is to be in as excellent of shape as possible when you get operated on. Like if I'm a big fat piece of shit, okay, and they remove the kidney, it's going to be a bitch recovering. But if I'm strong, the recovery will be shorter and less painful. That's the goal. So last night was like that. I get out of the funeral or the visitation, and I go, okay, I still got time to get to the track, even though the weather has been absolutely shitty. I still have time to do P90X. I've been doing P90X lately. Dean, I've been telling you about that. Push-ups, pull-ups. That's all it is. Push-ups and pull-ups. Body weight exercises, jumping up and down, and it's freaking great. It's old school. So I head to the track. The weather has been just shitty here in Michigan all week. It's been looking like every time you look into the sky, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are going to come swooping down on horses with wings and just fucking laying waste on people. It's absolutely ugly. So I'm worried it's going to start pouring on me. It did rain a little bit, but there I am. It's dark, and I'm busting my ass on the track. Got my headlamp on. There's a soccer game going on at the athletic fields here in Hudsonville. There I am, alone on the track. I gave up my YMCA membership, by the way, because I don't want to pay for it anymore, and because I'm so used to just running outside and doing weights at home. So I'm thinking eventually I'll go back, but you won't have too many YMCA stories, at least for a while. Do my track workout. And then it's time to go home and bust out P90X. No big deal, okay? Turn on Tony Horton on the iPad from 2002 when he was only 45 years old. Guy's like 60 now. And his jet black hair and his muscles and German potato soup chick who's now a porn star is in there. True story, by the way. And there I am doing my exercises. In the room where the furnace is, okay, the mechanical room, that's where Joe Martinez does the furnace tune-up. I hear something that I hear a million times, and that is that sump pump going off. That well constantly has water going into it as, you know, the house is trying to flood itself, and then the sump goes off, okay? And then it shoots water up a pipe, and it leaves the house. It's amazing. It's just so great. I mean, that's nothing new. We all have that. The way my setup is in my house is even more elaborate. I have a backup pump that when the power goes out, the backup pump, it has a float, and as soon as that level in that well gets too high, the backup pump turns on. But it's not powered by electricity. It's powered by water pressure, which is really great that they actually have this thing. And I've talked about this before. What it does is it pumps 1 gallon of water back into the well and somehow then manages to pump 2 gallons out. Okay? So it's a fail-safe mechanism, a protection and insurance policy to keep your well from flooding your basement. I've told this story before. I told it once before. It was a big story on the show. It's hilarious. There's a valve that is on that pipe that the water's leaving the house, okay? And this valve is a one-way valve, and it broke last year, and I replaced it. But when I was replacing it, okay, I take the old one off, and it's shitty, and I have the power off so that my sump pump won't turn on. So I have this valve off, and it's just a pipe, okay? And I'm looking down into the pipe. forgetting the fact that backup pump is not powered by electricity like I told you. It's powered by water pressure. And sure as shit, while I'm looking down in the thing, that backup pump kicks on and shoots a fire hose level of pressurized water right into my stupid face, up my nose, just down my throat, in my lungs. Horrible. And I'm like trying to put my hands over it. And it's like, I feel like a 1967 protester getting the freaking water hose treatment from some racist cop. And I'm like, God, Jesus, no. And it's just shooting right in my face. Holy fuck. And then the water level goes down, so the pump shuts off. And then I realized, oh my God, this is terrible. This is going to happen again if I don't get something going. So then I had the bright idea, and it worked. I ran upstairs, got a portable pump that I have, threw it in there, put the hose on it, put it out the window, plug the fucker in, and then it's on continuously. The water level stays low, allows me to fix the valve. Okay, great. Congratulations. This valve has these clamps around these rubber type of connectors, couplers, if you will, connecting the upper part of this PVC to the lower part, and in between is the valve, the one-way valve, okay? There's another name for it, but I forget what that is. Well, while I'm doing P90X yesterday, I hear water hitting the concrete floor and the pump going off. And I go, this isn't right. Something's wrong. Something's going on. My God, what is happening? I go into that room where the furnace is, and I turn on the light, and the pump is doing its thing because the well is filling up like it does every single day, a million times a day. But that thing, the rubber deal, the connectors, the couplers that has these, they're like metal bands. They're like straps, and you turn a screw and they get tighter. Those have somehow gotten loose. And now the fucking thing is shooting water like Old Faithful right into the open. And I look, and it's been going on for some time. Now this area it's set lower, okay? Designed for when this happens. It keeps the water in the room. And it's in the room all right, and everything is fucked. It's anything that was in that room, it's kind of like a random catch-all place for just various piles of shit. Everything's ruined. There's like family photos, and thank God those didn't get wet, but all sorts of things, just water damage like you wouldn't believe from this. And that's when I did it. Dad! I'm yelling her name out, so I need to bring her in here because it doesn't take long for me to like start losing my shit in that scenario. I want to bring in the queen of the forest, and she's brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware as usual. Hopefully she's here. God, oh, thank God. Hi.
Hello?
How are you?
Good.
So it's really crazy that you're here and you're taking the day off. So that's good. I'm glad you're here to talk to us.
Yeah, I took a personal day today.
Yeah, at the school. So first of all, what do you think about the president and the first lady?
Serves him right.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's terrible that you would say that because I was just making fun of people like you who say that.
Well, I mean...
Why would you say that?
Because he was such an anti-masker person.
So that means I'm happy that you got COVID?
No, I'm not happy that he's got it, but I think...
That means you look at him and say, serves you right because he had an approach that you know... I mean, well, seriously?
I'm not happy that he's ill. I just think I'm glad that maybe now it'll make a point. Like that he'll get it, is what I meant. That makes sense.
All right.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah, I see that. You're getting the room ready for visitors to the household, to the Eric Zane Show podcast household. You know, that's where Kenny's going to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, I told him no beating off in that bed.
Yeah, that would be bad if he beat off in Maddie's bed. with her teddy bear.
Oh, God. So we got to make Bruce sleep with him, right?
No.
Yes. Can you imagine if Kenny slept with Bruce?
That would be hilarious.
His butthole would look like a Folgers can.
Oh, my God. Maybe forgot her ID. I wonder how she got into school.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so yeah, you're getting that ready. We're having a campfire tonight.
And now what time?
I don't know. Well, I got a podcast at 7 with Ben and Lurch, and I think
Lurch?
Lurch is going to be here too. We're going to do the Pocky One Chip Challenge.
Oh yeah.
You should join us. You should, because Kenny's going to be here too, and we could have like a big, podcast orgy.
I was just talking to Kenny, and he hasn't even left yet. Is he going to get here in time?
Yeah, man, it's a struggle. Well, I think it looks farther than it is, than it really is. It looks like that would be like a 20-hour drive, but it's only like a 9-hour drive.
It's only like what?
It's what are you doing? It's only like a 9-hour drive.
Oh, are they an hour behind us?
Yeah. So
okay.
So that, but that doesn't help him. That doesn't make it shorter.
No, I was wondering. I was just thinking what time.
Yeah, if he left this very second, he would get here at like 6 p.m. I'll bet you he's getting ready right now.
Oh, he said he was, when I talked to him earlier, he said he was getting ready to leave within the hour.
Yeah, all right. Okay, good.
That means like 9.
Yeah, that would be 9 his time, 10 our time.
Yeah.
So that would be right at the start of the podcast. So he's going to come busting in here like Kool-Aid Man after we get started. So,
oh dear.
I was talking with the audience about the debacle that was last night. From your perspective, you were upstairs getting ready for night, and then you were summoned. Yes.
Yes. And he goes, "Dad needs you." I go, "Oh no."
When you heard that, did you think, did you think maybe I was having some type of crazy anxiety attack?
Yeah. And I go, "What now?" I go, what's wrong? Or I said, what's up? She goes, "I don't know, but he sounds flustered."
Okay.
I'm like, okay, well, that's not good, because the last I knew, he was downstairs exercising. So
yeah, it was. And I had to put the shoulders, buys, and tries workout on hold in order to get this done.
I thought maybe you got hurt.
Oh, you thought I got hurt. Okay. No. So, all right. And then can I ask you a question? Why, because we were working and, there was a big ass, like a tub, or plastic Tupperware container, you might put your Christmas shit in it at the end of the year. And it was like a toy box, and it was full of water, and I wanted to get that out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Get this shit out of here if you could while I work on this." And then you move so slow. You know how you accuse me of slow moving? I move slow when we take walks. You move slow when there's like shit actually happening.
I was trying to be neat about it. You just threw the shit out and got water everywhere. I didn't want to do that.
Well,
I was trying to be neat about it.
We're not. All we're trying to do is limit the water damage. We're not trying to reorganize the toy room, for God's sake. No, you're looking at me funny.
No, I was. There's stuff in there that was soaked, like a Halloween costume, and you just took it out of there, dripping wet, and threw it.
Is that the one that was Tigger? It was Tigger the tiger.
So now you made it like twice the work, because now I have to clean up where you threw the costume.
Yeah, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. The room was already a mess. I just needed that room cleaned out, and you're sitting there picking your ass the whole time. It took forever.
Okay, well, then you should have done it yourself.
No. Okay, so what's on the agenda? You have to get this. You're helping me get the house ready for Kenny and his 8,000 kids, and then you have a funeral to attend today.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, what time are you going to be home?
The funeral's at 1, so I don't know.
I was telling the audience about several things. I informed them about the possibility of. I was telling them about how I applied, just like everybody else, for the job with JoJo's show. Who you love, JoJo, do you not?
I do.
Yeah, he's really fun. He's just a laid back dude, and of course it's a music driven show.
Right.
But there's a ton of talented people that are trying to get this job. You know who's trying to get this job? I don't know if you met him. He's super talented. His name is Scott Winters. He was actually up here. He visited me for the podcast. Legend in Grand Rapids radio. He's trying to get that job too. And I would say that guy's the odds-on favorite if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't remember him, but the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so I was talking with the audience about that. And then I was talking with them about the president, and then you said serves him right. And then I was talking with the audience about the kidney is happening. And it might be, well, hell, if Jeff, damn it, if my pal passes his stress test, I told him, I go, just reach out to me when you're ready and we can do this.
Yeah.
So because that, what do you call it? Dialysis is the worst. It's awful. And are you prepared for that? Would you, if he called you today and said, can we do this next week? And here's your plane ticket. Would you be able to pull that off?
As long as I could find a sub for that long.
We need to, you need that. And then we'd have some family arrangements we'd need to take care of too.
Right.
But other than that, this could happen just like that. And then you got to take care of me. That's going to be fun. You're going to be such a good nurse. Are you going to sit on my face when you're my nurse?
No, I'm going to go out sightseeing and leave you to fend for yourself.
Yes. I don't blame you. We got to go. If we go there, we're going to make a vacation of it. I don't care if I've given up a kidney. I want to be out by day 2 and checking things out. I want to go see that cemetery. I want to show you that cemetery that Hugh Hefner's buried in. It's right by where we're going to be staying.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't give a shit about the kidney. We're going to be fine. I'm going to be walking around. We're going to go water skiing. I want to do some parasailing. Some cardio boxing. We got to do that.
We might as well just do some MMA and let them punch you right in the gut.
Yes. I'll say, don't punch me in the one side. No, they could actually punch me in the one side that there's no kidney because it wouldn't hurt. There's no kidney there. All right. That's all stupid. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Okay. See you. I love you.
Yeah, see you. Love you too. There you go.
Bye.
Queen of the Forest, brought to you by my friends, as always, at Baldwin Ace Hardware. And so the water's going shooting out in the room. And I'm like, Dad! And then seriously, she moves so slow. I'm like, come on, man. We got to get this shit done. It's 9:30 at night. And the room is now trashed. So I remembered how to fix this. I went and got that same damn pump. I attached the hose. I attached the power, put the hose out the window, and because I didn't want to be working on it and the backup pump go off, So then I just I took the thing apart, and I'm like a DIY king here, and was able to get it fixed. I was a little bit disappointed that it came loose in the first place. It shouldn't have, but I guess the thing, after a year of it doing what it does, it shook it loose a little. But for the time, I was like, son of a bitch, this is the worst thing ever. Got to get through this. Made it through, thank God. Finish up the workout. We're done. Yes. I've got a story about a tough old lady that I need to play for you, and I'll get to that news story in just a second. Before I get to that, though, Green Clean Technologies, they clean data centers. Call them at 586-560-7272 for Green Clean Technologies. If your business, whether it be a bank, school, hospital, has a data center, you must keep in mind that those data centers need to be clean. Any oddly charged static and dust floating through the air, that's a problem. Get it taken care of. Get it cleaned at Green Clean Technologies. If you need a quote, 586-560-7272. Suggest this to your boss. Boss, have you ever had this room cleaned? Yeah, we have the janitor do it. No, that's not what I'm talking about. On the Eric Zane Show podcast, they were talking about how this room needs to be really, really sterile. Are we doing that? No. Okay, call this number, 586-560-7272. You'll look like a champion. Just realized there is what's called a vendor event at Horizon Hydroponics coming up next week. Let's see. Upcoming events at Horizon Hydroponics. next week at all 4 locations during the week. Details at horizonhydroponics.com. And with that vendor event, you've got various people that have got their products for sale that will be a lower cost, okay, during the event at any one of the 4 locations. All the details are at horizonhydroponics.com. And they, if you want to buy anything, either online or in person, you can. They're open 4 locations, or just go online at horizonhydroponics.com. Call ahead of time if you need advice, 866-791-1664. Free shipping on orders $250 and above anywhere in the United States. And if you use my coupon code ZaneShow at checkout, you save 10%. Thank you to Horizon Hydroponics for being on board with this show. All right. So this lady is it was sent to me by Zaniac Brandon. And if you ever want to help out the show, you can be a show contributor. Just send along your news stories, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. This 67-year-old lady from, I think she's somewhere in California, is, well, it says she's a tough old lady and like an MMA expert. Boy, I just don't see it because I'm looking at her. And though she's 67, she's one of these people that looks like she's about 107. And strikes me as the type of lady who maybe at like age 37 gave up meth and chronic alcoholism and changed her life, but still life had taken its toll on her. Okay? She's got these gigantic glasses on. It looks like it's windows into her soul. So her eyes are huge. Her face looks like Ted Lindsay now. And long hair. The hair looks okay, but seriously, really rough. And she claims to be an MMA artist, like decades of martial arts training. So, at like age 35, she's like, all right, I'm turning my life around. I'm going to AA. I'm going to fix this. And then she dives in and takes charge of her life. Now she hasn't had a drink in forever or meth. And she's an MMA expert. And it's a moment of truth. Some bad guy shows up to kick some ass and steal her shit or hurt somebody. And she kicks the guy's ass. This guy must have been really, really a pussy or something like that. It's really hard to believe. But this is the old lady ass kicker story.
As he was coming towards me, I said, back off.
Okay. Now, she has no teeth, and you can just tell by that she doesn't have a lot going on because back off. Oh my God.
As he was coming towards me, I said, back off right away.
67-year-old Lorenza Marujo is tough. She's had 26 years of martial arts training. So when she told the man who broke into her senior apartment complex to back off, he listened. But unfortunately, he made his way to her friend and neighbor's apartment, 81-year-old Elizabeth McCrae.
And he grabbed me and he shook me and I went down on the floor.
Marujo heard the screams and went to help.
And I squeaked my...
Marujo's like, back off, go to my next door neighbor. And then here's the other one screaming, it's like, oh, shit. Who says back off and then just closes the door? I mean, seriously?
So between her and him, I put...
81-year-old Elizabeth McCrae.
And he grabbed me and he shook me and I went down on the floor.
Marujo heard the screams and went to help.
And I squeaked myself between her and him. I put Mom out of the side and I jumped on him and I was punching him and everything. And I had the cane against his throat.
She says she didn't want...
There's no way this lady has any fighting ability whatsoever. It must have just been like the most feeble dude who was trying to do the assault in the first place. He must have been like in a wheelchair. Maybe he had Lou Gehrig's or something, and he couldn't move from the neck down. It basically was Stephen Hawking.
To kill him, so she held him down with her hands.
He lifted up and tried to twist my hand. At the same time, I twisted his, turned it around real fast.
There's no way.
And he was saying, you're hurting
Impossible.
me, you're hurting me. And I said, I don't care. I don't care what happens to you. You have no right to hurt an elderly person.
I didn't expect that.
And this lady's 67 years old. You should not be that screwed up when you're 67 years old. The 81-year-old sounds more lucid than the 67-year-old.
I don't care what happens to you. You have no right to hurt an elderly person.
I didn't expect that little lady would be that brave. I was trembling. I grabbed her by the leg. I said, "Oh, Miss Kitty, be careful. You're going to kill us." She said, "Not tonight."
We do not recommend you just jumping in. We recommend that you dial 911 for emergency assistance.
No.
In this case, she did that, and she also jumped in.
You jump
What
in.
she told me is her training kicked in, and it was like a muscle memory. She knew she had to, help her friend out.
They needed to show some footage of her like doing some of her moves or something like that to see if she actually has any ability to do this. All right. I need an update. Hey, Siri. Call Kenny. No.
Calling Kenny. No.
Hey, mate. I'm sorry if some of the Zaniacs get mad that I'm on the show again. Yeah, hey, man. It's coming. Incoming, Kenny.
Hey, man.
Hey, so what's the time of leaving? What are you thinking?
We're going to be leaving in the next 20 minutes or so.
Okay, what are you packing? Snacks? Do you have snacks? Kids love snacks.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to have road snacks.
What are you bringing? I mean, is the car in running shape? I mean, this is a long 700-800 mile trip. I mean,
no, it's only 500 something miles.
500 miles. Okay, it's not bad. Not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Okay, so you're looking at what, 9 hours?
Probably with stops.
Yeah,
here and there.
that's right at about the time we're going to start the podcast. So
Yeah, I heard what you said about the busting in like Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, I fully expect that to happen.
I'll scare the shit out of you.
So that means like your kids have to. I don't know. Bring them all. Maybe if your daughter comes in and she hears some bad words, we'll like toughen her up. I don't think that's a good idea.
No, yeah, I won't be doing that. No.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Be safe and just remember, hobo pie. You must really. Have you been talking about the hobo pie to these people?
Oh yeah. Like they look just as confused as me. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to start with a pizza hobo pie and then have a dessert hobo pie, or do you want hobo grilled cheese?
I have no idea, man. Whatever you think is the best.
All right, well, it's a 3-course meal then. We're going to start with the pizza hobo pie, and then we're going to do the grilled cheese hobo pie, and then the apple, blueberry, whatever, fruit pie last.
Sounds very strange, man.
No, it's not strange. It's freaking awesome, and don't eat until then. Don't knock it till you tried. You're going to love this.
Don't eat all day?
Don't eat all day. No eating.
I don't know about that, man.
All right. Okay. Are you okay with getting up in the morning and running 5 miles?
Oh my God, dude! Do you want to see me die?
Are you bringing your video game that you made for No Filter Kevin?
Yeah.
Can we play? So we can play. I'll actually be playing Zelda by tonight.
For sure, if you want, man. Name it. If it's Nintendo and it's retro, early '90s or before, it's on there.
Son of a bitch. That's awesome.
Every Mario you can think of. I mean, it's all there, dude.
How does it hook up to the TV?
It just needs HDMI. Do you have an extra HDMI or one you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's it.
So I actually need an HDMI cord.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, I'm on it.
All right, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, be safe. All right.
For sure, man. See you soon.
Okay, see you soon. There you go. Kenny on his way up. Folks, we have an event coming up on October 23rd at Great Legs Winery Brewery Distillery. That's on East Lakewood Boulevard in Holland, Michigan, directly across the street from the Windmill Mobile Home Park. This is not a event that's put on by Great Legs. It's just us hanging out because they can. We have the rules in place. Everybody's socially distant. The tables are far apart. You have the wine. You have the beer. Whatever's on tap. Buy a bottle of wine before you leave. Have some grappa. We hang out, crack some jokes, couple hours on Friday, October 23rd. I will see you there. We start at around 7 o'clock. Looking forward to that. Kent County Health Department reminding you to get your kids vaccinated. Measles, mumps, rubella, pertussis, whooping cough, meningitis, HPV, all things that you need to be protected, that your kids need to be protected for, okay? If you want more information, go to accesskent.com/health or call them at 616-632-7100. Speaking of health, I want you to get in shape at the newest exercise facility in West Michigan, F45 Byron Center. Okay? F45training.com/Byron Center is their website. They are fantastic and a great supporter of this podcast. I'm so very, very thankful that they are there. And you can get 1 week free. Okay, go to the website, f45training.com/Byron Center. Click right where it says start free trial, right in the red there. Click on that thing, and then off you go. You get 7 days free. Check them out. You will not be let down, man. It is group training with a personal setting, a personal type of vibe to it. And man, do you work. There's a real learning curve because if you're brand new and let's say you don't work out at all or haven't worked out, let's say you've never worked out ever, but you said, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take charge of my life and I'm going to feel better about myself. The first couple of weeks is there's a real learning curve there as your body makes adjustments. Stick with it. Keep trying. If you find that you're starting to do an exercise and everybody else is looking a certain way and you just don't look the same way they do, that's okay. You're still trying, and it's going to get better. You're going to improve. You're going to see those improvements quite quickly, but you must soldier on. It's taken you a long time to get out of shape. It will take you some patience and time to get in shape. Give yourself a chance. Just know that the hardest thing you can do is put your foot down and say enough and get into there. Because when you first go in, I can promise you this, most people, they get scared at the door because they're afraid of what if they'll be judged. They'll be let's say you're a lady who's packed it on after having a baby. She's like, I'm not going in there. I just feel too bad about it. Trust me, they've all been through that before. They want you to come in there, suck it up, get your ass in there, and take care of it. You'll feel better, and once you get started, you'll be like, what was I worried about in the first place? At 45training.com/Byron Center. Thank you. And then there's my man Mario. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Has never been a better time than right now to get a mortgage. 231-332-6505. Call Mario at his desk and get a mortgage. Hang on a second. Hey, Siri. Call Mario.
Calling Mario Flores.
People are like saying to me, I can never reach him. You got to call at the right time, like right now. Now is the time. Come on, Mario, pick it up. Mario. Come on, do it. Oh, I don't know. I don't think.
Hello, have you reached Mario Flores with Van Dyke Mortgage? Please leave your name and number.
All right. Damn it. Anyway, reach out to him. First time, 10th time, doesn't matter. You need a mortgage. If you're a fan of the show, please reach out to Mario and mention my name. Even just mention my name if you're just calling for information, okay? He especially caters to people who are going through the mortgage process for the first time. Let's say you got a kid who's 22 years old, and he's like, yeah, I've been paying rent. Eric Zane says that I can get a home. Yeah, you can. Okay, now some of you kids, some of you young people, your credit might be in the dumper. Either you have none or for whatever reason, it's shitty. Okay, Mario's navigated that a million times, and he can put you in the right place so that you can at least get a mortgage. It's not going to be the best mortgage. Trust me. If your credit score stinks, You might not get the best mortgage, but you will be paying on your house, which is better than giving the money to some dickhead slumlord. And then after a year or so of making payments on time, you get into a better loan, okay? And maybe after 2 or 3 times of doing that, your credit score bumps way up because you've been doing all the right things with Mario. And then you've got a great credit score, your own house, and you're paying a little amount as possible on interest because you got a great loan. That's how that works. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage, 231-332-6505. You got to see the images of this. It is a bear on top of a garbage truck. It's fantastic. Somewhere in Pennsylvania in the Poconos, those hicks up there, man, this is like a regular thing. Bears wandering around looking for food. You got to lock your food up in this part of the country. Seriously, when I'm up north, we don't leave anything out because there's bears everywhere up there, and we don't want a damn dickhead black bear and his stupid cubs. As much as I'd like to see that, I don't want them hanging around Fear Bunker North. So you got to make sure you pick that shit up, or else his fat ass is going to come around. He's going to hibernate. He's got to pack on the pounds. He's going to eat your stupid graham crackers and your chocolate and your marshmallows. And then he's going to be like, oh, man, I'm coming back here. This place is great, man. Come on, kids. Let's go to that one dickhead's house with the damn big nose and eat some more hobo pie. Pick up your shit. In the Poconos, nobody does that apparently. The bear comes out, and you know what happened? There's a guy who's emptying. He's got his garbage truck, and he's going and picking up the garbage. And he pulls into one house to pick up the garbage, and the smell is so enticing for this enormous black bear. As far as black bears go, this one was the big one, and the fucker climbed the ladder on the back of the garbage truck and is perched on top of the garbage truck saying, I am on my heaven. I cannot wait to get inside this thing and eat everything inside of here. And then the dickhead truck driver, I don't know why I called him a dickhead, he looks in, he's like, wait a minute, what the fuck is that? And he says, there's a bear. And so he has to freeze, hold on, there's pictures, there's eyewitnesses, a bear on a garbage truck. My God, check this out.
In Kidder Township, Officer Vincent Moreau says bear complaints are up this year.
It's been pretty frequent, almost daily, that we're getting a new bear complaint in the area.
This is the most recent example, when a bear arrived at the Kidder Township Police Department this morning on the back of a garbage truck.
We can only assume that it was sick of going for the small amount of trash in the garbage pails and went for the big prize.
Back in July, another bear in Kidder Township made its way into a car and ate all of the food in the back seat. Catherine Euler of Pocono Wildlife Rehabilitation and Education Center says bears are usually out and about this time of year, and since it's right before hibernation, they're usually hungry.
Each bear is eating about 20,000 calories a day,
wow,
which is about 10 times more than you and I eat. So they're moving around.
That's like Kenny numbers right there.
A lot, and they're very hungry.
According to Euler, the pandemic is also contributing to their movements.
I need a titty in my mouth.
Part of it is the COVID. People are outside a lot, and that moves bears around. So there are a lot of bear sightings.
If you see a bear, experts say do not get close.
Yeah, no
Euler
kidding.
says put your garbage out only on garbage day and do not leave food outside.
Everybody knows that.
Bears can smell food up to a mile away. Just ask the driver of this garbage truck. Carolyn Blackburn, Newswatch 16, Carbon County.
Did you ever see the video of the hunter in the tree somewhere? And I don't know, it doesn't matter where, but my God, holy crap. This one, I'll link it up now that I'm mentioning it. And I'll put it in the news. The hunter's in the blind doing his thing, and he's got a camera. I don't know if it's on his head or he's holding a cell phone, but you see on the ground, like 3 or 4 bears. And then he's up in the tree, like 30, 40 feet up. And then as he's got the camera pointed down, there's a tree right next to the tree that he's in. One of the bears climbs up the tree and gets 1 foot away from the guy's camera. And you hear the bear snorting as he's coming up the thing. And he gets way up there, and he's face to face with the frickin' bear. And the bear looks at him, and then all of a sudden the bear has a look on his face like, ever see those dog shaming videos where you say, O'Neill, did you get in the garbage? And then he looks like, oh, shit, oh, fuck. That's what the bear looked like in this video. Like, oh, no, I'm not supposed to be up here, and this guy is he's gonna smack me right on my bare nose. And then the bear, backs down the tree. And then the dude, as the bears walk away, has the presence of mind to turn the camera right back on him to mouth, holy shit. Holy fuck. Scared to death. My God, absolutely incredible. I'll link that up for you. Folks, that's going to do it, man. I am out of time. So thank you very much. This has been a hell of a week, and I got a little bit more for you. I'll continue on with the Patreon bonus podcast. We got the podcast with Ben and Lurch tonight on Patreon. I'll start the first few minutes of it on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and then I'll pull the plug on that deal. You can catch the whole thing at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thanks again. All right, talk to you further down the road. That's it. The Eric Zane Show podcast is done. Bye-bye.
Need a titty in the mouth.
Stand back and stand by. Will you shut up,
man? Kenny, Mike, Kenny, whoever the fuck. I'm so drunk right now.
Matt, my fucking Pellerito is a better fucking